Well, good afternoon. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. So thankful you could join us today. It's a nice day here in Pennsylvania. It's the middle of August, and what I thought we would cover today is how you can build yourself a low tunnel hoop house. And you know, the hoop houses that I have here on my gardens, the hoops are made out of metal. They're an EMT. You can get they're only $2-3, maybe $3 a piece, but you know, they're not. It's not something every homeowner can bend, you know, without buying some expensive tools and everything. And so, what I wanted to show you was an easier way, an almost foolproof way of how you can build your own low tunnel hoop house. They're basically just 4-foot diameter hoops. They're made out of the PVC pipe. You can see I've already constructed one right here at the end of the garden. And I'm really pleased with how supportive it seems. And what I do is I use these rebars right here. They're 1/2-inch rebars, and you can see they slide right into the end of the pole here, because this is 1/2-inch conduit, so they slip in real nice. And what you want to try to do is drive these in at least 1 foot into the ground. Now this is an 8-foot long bed. It's 4x8, and so I put you can put a spray paint mark on your bed, so you always have that there for reference. Now my beds go pretty deep, so it starts to hit some firm soil, probably a good 12 inches down. It may even be sooner on your soil, depends on how firm the soil is, but that's still in there pretty good. I could probably even use a longer stake here on mine, but for the most part, the 2-foot one seems to be okay. So I'm just going to simply drive this one in using a sledgehammer. Even if you didn't have a sledgehammer, you probably could use a brick. Right? You don't really need too many tools. Try to save people money if we can here. Try to improvise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of those PVC lengths right here, and I'm just going to show you how I can do. You can do one. Simply take it and slip it over the end. Let's see if I can get that there. Alright. And then just simply take it. Maybe help support the middle. Just slowly bend it in there. That one. Jared, give me the sledgehammer a minute. Yeah, see, sometimes these ends are crimped. And so it's right over here. And so yeah, that's one thing you might want to make sure. You see, make sure before you put the end in that it slips in. So that's a good little teachable moment. So that's actually in pretty far. Yeah, so give it a couple taps. There you go. So now it's going to go right in for you. There you go. So that's pretty firm. And I think once these row covers will go over this too, it's going to help. Once I put the brick along the edges, it's going to help support that. Now, Jared, I'm going to hand this end over to you. And we're going to make sure that slips down over this, right? How's yours? You okay? All right. So chip people may help make it a little bit easier. So there you go. You got 3 nice hoops. You'll be able to put the row cover over. Now another thing too, you know, some of these row covers, they're called floating row covers. So they're lightweight. They're designed. You can even just put them right over your plants. You don't always need to have a hoop house. You know, the idea is as the plants grow, they'll also lift the row cover up. So that's another way you could do it. I don't normally do that here, but you know, you can still do that. Now I have all the brick here. I ended up getting that from a customer that had pulled up their old sidewalk, and so I took these brick home one day and I used them to support the edges on my row cover. And so you can use stone or bury your edges in dirt if you have to, but you know, with the raised beds here, the brick work out really nice. can also get sandbags or bags and fill them with sand and to keep the row cover edge down. So we're going to drag this row cover over and put this over our bed here. And we just want to make sure you at least have a good 5 feet longer so it folds over the edges. Now, Gerald, I'm going to hand that to you here. And this one's a little trickier because I had the trellis in the way. And here you can pick this over. These are 56-ounce row covers. They allow 85% of your light transmission through. And so just bring that down through the eggplant here. That's it. They also allow the air, and just put a few bricks. That's the one reason I had my good friend Jared's here with us today, is so that he can help me with the row covers if it got windy. Normally I can do this myself. If it's not windy out, you can kind of position it. But certainly 2 people are going to make it a lot easier if it's windy. Otherwise, it's not, all you're doing is covering it with a cloth. How you doing over there? Not bad. And so we need to tighten up this edge. You don't need to get them all down right now. Because I'm going to have to go through and adjust this a little bit more. But the idea is for me, I want to keep that looper or cabbage butterfly off my brassicas. And this also will keep the deer off my plants, because we have deer on the property. Hopefully they'll deter groundhogs. But again, it'll allow all the rain to go through and the air to breathe under the covers. Having the row covers will warm the soils up for you. In the springtime, the soils will get warmer. Another thing too is come the winter, once your plants reach maturity, hopefully that will happen before the frost, is then you can cover these also with like a 4 or 6 mil poly. It's a clear plastic, and that's also going to give you more protection in the winter. Like if you have kale in here all winter, you can come out under your row cover and pick your kale out so that it's not buried in snow. But once you want to try to bring your plants to maturity before the frost. But yeah, we love the row covers. To me, the plants do so much better under the row covers. And I think that pretty much covers everything. And you can see now with the row covers and some of the brick around, they're really starting to firm up. But I do need to go through and dress this up a little nicer here. But I think you get the idea on how the row covers work and how easy it is to construct your hoop house here. Again, in these PVC, half-inch PVC conduit, they're under $2 a piece. And so we used 3 of those and 6 pieces of half-inch rebar. They were 24 inches. And so I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have some experience with low tunnel hoop houses and with row covers, I always appreciate some advice or even correction. Maybe I'm wrong about this or that. And so it's always good to open to correction or suggestions. And so it's been fun out here in the garden. I always learn something too, because I do these videos. I'm always trying to educate myself and making sure I'm sharing as much accurate information as possible. And so anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining us today. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.